It's been a relatively strong year for the sector overall. The S&P Healthcare Index, or HCX, is up nearly 24%, just behind the 27% gain for the S&P 500. The same can't be said for biotech, though. The iShares Biotech ETF is only up about 0.5% this year. And check out the Biotech Spider, or the XBI. It's down nearly 20%, tracking close to its worst year on record. Let's talk more about what lies ahead for the healthcare industry in 2022 with Les Funtleiter, portfolio manager at E-Squared Capital Management, and Jeff Porges, director of therapeutics research and senior biotech analyst at SVB Leerink. Gentlemen, it's great to have you both on. Les, within healthcare, we tend to fixate on the pandemic, right? And the vaccine manufacturers, the companies that are working on therapeutics and oral treatments. Look, two specific names we tend to talk about a lot. Pfizer, which is up 50% this year. Moderna up 127% this year. I'm curious if those two names still look attractive to you.
Well, the answer is no. Well, Pfizer a little bit. But this year we've been focused mostly on more quality names and less growthy names. While we do own a good bunch of pharma, like Merck and Roche, we've tended to be more in the service-oriented companies like United and Dexcom and Thermo Fisher, and on the smaller side, Twist and 10X. And those have tended to they haven't done as well as Moderna for sure, but they've done quite well, and we feel very good about them going into 22.
Jeff, as we hopefully emerge from this pandemic, do you think investors' appetite for stocks that don't really touch COVID will increase?
Yeah, look, it's been a spectacular year for these great COVID companies. Pfizer, as you point out, up 50%, a remarkable performance. Moderna, just a spectacular run. But I don't think anyone thinks that COVID will be as much of a problem or as much of a market opportunity in 2022 as 2021. We're recommending that our clients really look for M&A opportunities in biopharma. Because of COVID, these large companies will have massive balance sheets, literally $100 billion plus in some of these large companies, and they need to deploy that capital. They're facing a growth crisis in the late 2020s when they lose exclusivity on big products. So we think that there's opportunity in those smaller mid-cap names that haven't benefited, as you point out, in 2021, haven't had all that COVID excitement, but offer real product value. We think that there's going to be some big deals in 2022 that'll offer opportunity for investors.
Yeah, M&A has always been a big part of the healthcare story, Les. Big pharma with a big balance sheet looking to grow inorganically. Let's just scoop up a small to mid-cap size biotech company. But from what I gather, you're not a fan of any biotech names. Tell us why.
Well, we think that, as you alluded to, the small cap biotech index has been down a bunch this year. We see that continuing for another couple of quarters. We would be, like I said, looking more towards the enabling technology companies who help the small cap biotechs create new products, like the Twists and the 10Xs of the world, and maybe some of the CROs. Which are the research organizations. Biotech, in our view, probably gets a little bit more attractive over the summer as the smaller companies head towards cash values.
Jeff, what is your top pick across the board, whether it's pharma, biotech, medical devices? Where would you be putting your money?
Yeah, look, I really like Regeneron going into next year. The stock has sold off a lot from its highs. People are worried that they're not going to get any COVID revenue, but that was just a sort of temporary blip. They have what's soon to be one of the biggest drugs in the industry in Dupixent. They get 50% of the value of that. They had an oncology portfolio that's just emerging that we'll see a lot more data for next year. And then their biggest product, Eylea, is about to get a very nice extension to the tail with a high-dose formulation that will extend the patent protection well into the 2030s. So we've got a target price of $850 for Regeneron, and the stock looks really attractive here, even though it's still up from its lows of the year.